Marvelous ears. Back in the cave, the big friendly giant sat Sophie down once again on the enormous table. Is you quite snugly there in your nightie? He asked. You isn't free Friday, frigid cold. I'm fine, Sophie said. I cannot thinking. I cannot help thinking, said the BFG, about your poor mother and father. But now they must be dripping and scumping all over the house shooting. Hello, hello, where is Sophie gone? I don't have a mother and father, Sophie said. They both died when I was a baby. Oh, poor little Scrumplet, cried the BFG. Is you not missing them very badly? Not really, Sophie said, because I never knew them. You is making me sad, the BFG said, rubbing his eyes. Don't be sad, Sophie said. No one is going to be worrying too much about me. That place you took me from was the village orphanage. We are all orphans in there. You is an orphan? Yes. How many is there in there? 10 of us, Sophie said. All little girls. Was you happy there? The BFG said. I hate it. I hated it. Sophie said. The woman who ran it was called Mrs. Clunkers, and if she caught you breaking any of the rules, like getting out of the bed at night or not folding up your clothes, you got punished. How is you getting punished? She locked us in a dark cellar for a day and a night with anything without anything to eat or drink. The rotten old road trosper, cried the BFG. It was horrid, Sophie said. We used to dread it. There were rats down there. We could hear them creeping about. The filthy old Fritz Wiggler, shouted the BFG. This is the horridest thing I is hearing for years. You is making me sadder than ever. All at once a huge tear that would have filled a bucket rolled over down at one of the BFG's cheeks and fell with fell with a splash on the floor. It made quite a puddle. Sophie watched it, astonishment. What a strange and moody creature this is, she thought. One moment he is telling me my head is full of squashed flies, and the next moment his hurt his heart is melting for me because Mrs. Clunkers locks us in a cellar. The thing that worries me, Sophie said, is having to stay in this dreadful place for the rest of my life. The orphanage was pretty awful, but I wouldn't have been there forever, would I? All is my fault, the BFG said. I is the one who kidnapped you. Yet another enormous tear welled from his eye, and splashed onto the floor. Now I come to think of it, I wouldn't actually be here all that long, Sophie said. I is afraid you will, the BFG said. No, I wouldn't, Sophie said. Those brutes out there are bound to catch me sooner or later and have me for tea. I is never letting that happen, the BFG said. For a few moments the cave was silent. Then Sophie said, May I ask you a question? The BFG wiped the tears from his eyes with the back of his hand and gave Sophie a long, thoughtful stare. "Shoot away," he said.